Hey guys, Richard Holder here, and welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at part 2 of our 3800 L67 Supercharged V6, and today it's all about more boost. In this video, we're going to take a look at what happens when we run more boost on our 3800 Series 2 L67 Supercharged V6. We're going to do what everybody does. We're going to put a smaller pulley on it, but actually we even upgraded the supercharger. We went from the L67 supercharger to the L32 Gen 5 supercharger. Now originally I just wanted to do the blower upgrade to show you exactly what happens when you upgrade to the Gen 5 blower. Unfortunately, I didn't have one equipped with a factory 3.8-inch pulley. I only had one that already had the hub and the smaller pulley. So we're going to upgrade the blower and the pulley and the throttle body and the intake manifold. But you know what? More boost is always good. Back in part 1 of our modifications to the L67 3800 supercharged motor, we took a look at different timing levels, but with the factory M90 supercharger and the factory pulley, the 3.8-inch pulley. Now we're taking a look at see what happens when we upgrade both the blower and the pulley. Unfortunately, I wanted to do an upgrade with the Gen 5 supercharger and the bigger throttle body and bigger intake manifold, but unfortunately I didn't have a 3.8-inch pulley to install on that, so we had to go up with a change in blower and a change in pulley ratio. In this case, we went to a 3.2-inch blower pulley, so it made a sizable jump. So we're going to see both a change in boost from the blower itself, because the blower is better. The Gen 5 blower definitely better than the earlier L67 blower. We have a little bit bigger throttle opening, and we have a change in pulley. So we're going to see basically what happens when we just go up in boost, which is what everybody does on these supercharged motors. Anyway, so we'll take a look and see what kind of power gain we got. But back in part 1, we finished off with our factory L67 blower, the 3.8-inch pulley, and the factory throttle body and mass aerometer assembly. We ran it with E85, and we ran it with 21 degrees of timing. Here's what happened when we ran the stock stuff. We were making 295 horsepower. Peak torque checked in at 303 foot-pounds of torque, and that was about an 8 pounds of boost. We'll go ahead and show the boost curves later on. Here's what happened when we installed the Gen 5 supercharger with a 3.2-inch pulley. And we also had, obviously, to make that blower work, we had to also swap over the lower intake manifold, because the discharge on the blower is different on the two blowers, so you can't interchange the intake manifolds either, and the bigger throttle body that comes with that blower. Again, 3.2-inch pulley, and we did the blower upgrade. And you can see we got a dramatic change in power. Peak power was all the way up to 339, right at 340 horsepower, and peak torque checked in at 362 foot-pounds. As you can see, we had power gains through the whole curve. So speeding the blower up, using the better blower, bigger blower that flows more, the bigger throttle body and stuff, increased power output basically through the whole RPM range, which is what you want, because you'll really feel a big change in torque all the way through, so the thing's going to accelerate a lot harder because you got more average power basically everywhere. So this is a good combination. But the thing is, on this test, we were only running this thing at 18 degrees of timing. So we know that this thing's going to respond to more timing. So let's check out now what happened when we went up in successive steps in timing now that we installed the Gen 5 blower and the bigger pulley. Now that we've taken a look at the gains offered by stepping up in the blower up to the Gen 5 blower with the bigger throttle inlet and the big different intake manifold and a different pulley, we saw a sizable gain in power, but we were only running 18 degrees of timing. So now let's take a look and see what happened with that new blower assembly, what happens when we increase the timing. Remember, we're running all of this on E85 as we did. That's how we ended up with the factory L67 blower, even with the small 3.8 or the bigger 3.8 inch pulley that had just, you know, around 8 pounds of boost or so. But here is our new combination with the Gen 5 blower and the 3.2 inch pulley. We're running 18 degrees of timing. It made 340 horsepower and 362 foot-pounds. And here's what happened when we went up to 20 degrees of timing. So we saw we got a good solid gain. There's basically gains throughout the whole thing. Peak power was up to 349 horsepower. Peak torque was up to 368 foot-pounds of torque. And naturally, since we got a gain going up in timing, we'd look at this and go, okay, we did get a gain, so let's go up a little bit more in timing and see if this trend is going to continue. That's how you can tell. If you get a small gain, you may not go up. If you get a good-sized gain like this, you might want to try a little bit more timing, and that's exactly what we did. We stepped up to 21 degrees, and now you can see only minor gains from the extra degree of timing. This tells us, especially up at the top, where we're getting very close to the limit of how much timing this combination wants. We could try another degree of timing, but I wanted to stay a little bit on the conservative side. We only went up from 349 horsepower to 352 horsepower. So that's really not very much of a gain from 1 degree of timing. And as we go up and up in timing, we get closer and closer to the detonation threshold. So that's something you want to try to avoid at all costs. So I don't think going up in timing anymore is really going to help us. So now let's take a look at the difference in power between obviously our finalized version with the timing. And also we're going to take a look at the boost curves and also take a look at what's going on with the charge temperature now that we're running a lot of boost. Now that we've illustrated the effect of timing on our supercharged combination, let's take a look now at our finished comparison between running the original L67 blower and the 3.8 inch pulley and the Gen 5 L32 blower with the 3.2 inch pulley now that we have timing in both of them. So here is our finished power outputs. You can see we jumped from 295 horsepower up to 352 horsepower. So sizable jump in power. Torque gains were even more. We went from 303 or 304 foot-pounds up to 371 foot-pounds. So again, big jump and a big consistent gain all the way through the curve, which is what we expect of a big change in boost. Now, this is a sizable gain in power, but we also saw a sizable change in boost pressure. So now let's take a look at what happened with the boost curves on both of these. So we'll go ahead and zoom out of here, pick up our boost. So now you can see why we have such a big jump in power output, because we have a commensurate jump and big change in the boost pressure. We have even down low at 2,900 RPM, which is where we started our runs on the dyno. We have a big change in boost. It went from 3.9 pounds up to 8.3 pounds. So a big jump in boost out here at the top. We went from 8.5 pounds up to 14.8 pounds. So again, big jump in boost and kind of, as I said, a commensurate jump in power to go along with the boost. The thing is that we need to start thinking about, with almost 15 pounds of boost, what are we going to do about charge temperature? So in part 3 of this series, I'm going to show you what happens when we add water meth, and we're going to compare the Snow Performance Water Meth Kit with their boost juice to two lesser expensive forms that guys often use with their water meth kits. Basically, that's windshield washer fluid. We got two different kinds. So that's coming up in part 3. So make sure to stick around for that. We'll take a look now at the charge temperatures associated with running nearly 15 pounds of boost, because the charge temperature got pretty high. This curve illustrates the charge temperature in the lower intake manifold below the supercharger when we ran with our 3.2 inch pulley and the Gen 5 supercharger and associated throttle body and intake manifold. Now, unfortunately, we didn't drill and tap the factory L67 intake when we were running the stock 3.8 inch blower pulley and the L67 supercharger. But given the fact that we were starting out at about 8 pounds here down at 2,900 with our bigger blower and the smaller blower pulley, we can assume that the 3.8 inch pulley on that stock blower and intake manifold and stuff would have produced charge temperatures that are going to be in the 140 to 150 degree range. But with our upgraded pulley and running a peak of 14.5 or 14.8 pounds of boost, our charge temperature started out at 137 degrees here down at 3,900 and rose, as you see, to a peak of 192 degrees out here at 6,000 RPM. And as you can see, it's climbing fairly rapidly. So if you run more engine speed, if you run more boost, all of that stuff is going to contribute to having a higher charge temperature. And this is very important on a non-intercooled application. So that's why we're running E85 when we're running the supercharged version, especially at this higher boost level. Now we're also going to, coming up in this series, run a camshaft, which is going to help us lower the boost down, which will definitely be beneficial because lower charge temperatures, lower boost, those kinds of things go together. But that's why we're running E85. The other important thing is to notice that this is on one run. If we were to continue to make successive runs, like if we were to kind of hot lap this thing and make 3 or 4 pulls in a row, what will happen is we'll still get this rise. It will still climb up at this level, but what will happen is we'll start out at a higher charge temperature. So it will start out higher and it will end higher because we'll basically get the same gain. So if you run a whole bunch of runs in a row, expect to start out with a higher temperature and end also with a higher temperature. Let's get to our conclusion. Okay, guys, what do we learn from this little dyno adventure with our 3800 L67 supercharged V6? Well, we learned a couple of things. The first thing is timing. Yes, it's very important, and even a supercharged motor, especially one running with E85, responds very well to increased timing, but only up to a point. As you saw, as we went up in timing, the gains got smaller and smaller, and it's very important. The engine is trying to tell you something, and you better listen, because what happens is you'll start not gaining power, and then you'll start losing power, and then you'll start losing pistons and important things, because too much timing is definitely going to hurt the motor. So make sure, don't get greedy. There's no reason to go any more than it needs because it'll stop making power. The other thing is more boost, always good, and it always makes more power. So when we upgraded the blower and the throttle body and the intake, and obviously the most important thing in our big power gain was the smaller pulley. Going down from the 3.8-inch pulley to the 3.2-inch pulley, raised boost, more boost, brought more power, but it also brought something else, something we don't want, and that's a higher charge temperature. We were up near 200 degrees on a single run, and we'd be easily over 200 degrees if we ran multiple runs. That's not good. So stay tuned in the next episode of our 3800 series. We're going to cure that by running water meth injection. I'm Richard Holder. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff. I'll keep testing. More coming up.